Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, first of all, before I forget, I want to thank Mr. Peter, all the way from US. Thank you so much for supporting us. I received M-Pesa. Now, if you go on social media, you would see youth carrying placard protesting in support of affordable housing. You would see they're saying that tumechoka kulipa choo na bafu. We support the housing levy. These are youth. And there are so many questions that Kenyans are asking to see such kind of an organized protest in support of government. We have reached a level whereby now the government have to sponsor demonstrations to support their impunity. Or it has reached that level. There's no way a youth will just wake up and start saying that I'm supporting house levy. Eti kwa sababu tumechoka kulipa choo na bafu. If you cannot afford to pay for choo na bafu, how can you afford to acquire these new houses? You are supporting house levy. You cannot afford to pay. Unasema umechoka. Because these houses are not for free. And they are also not cheap. They are much expensive compared to other developers. The private developers are selling their houses cheaper per square meter compared to these other guys. But people are very well organized to go and support mass action. Sometimes when the government want to speak and when they are in desperate, this is what they will sponsor. And that's exactly what is happening here. We are continuing this final discussion, but just a quick request. For those who are watching and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. Now, there is one question I would want to ask. If this mass protest was organic, how many of these youth are employed? Ni wangapi ni walimu? Ni wangapi ni wafanyakazi wa serikali? Ni wangapi ni madaktari? Let them come out and tell us. Because housing levy is being deducted from civil servants. You pay 1.5% of your salary. How many of them, if they are pushing for that, for us to be sincere, how many of them are salaried? Mtu ambaye ameajiriwa kazi hana nafasi ya kufanya vitu za upumbavu wa kiwango hii, eti sasa anafanya maandamano kwamba akatwe pesa nyumba zijengwe. They have other things to do. They have other pressing issues to deal with. So this is too cheap for government to sponsor some youth to push for their agenda. It is too backward, and anyone can read into this. There is mischievous here. You can read into this issue. Hakuna Mkenya yoyote ambaye ako kwa mshahara anaweza enda kupanga maandamano ya kuandamana kwamba akatwe pesa ya kujenga affordable housing, when they know very well that if it comes to buying these houses, they will not consider that you are paying taxes. You will pay fully. So it's not your saving. It is a tax. A tax is not a saving. You cannot reclaim it. But they're telling us that tumetoka kulipa choo na bafu. We support the housing levy. The case is being contested in the court of law. We have other serious issues like high cost of living. If I see any Kenyan on the road talking about high cost of living, I will believe this one is not sponsored. House is not a priority for us as of now. We have been starving. Our priority is to make basic commodities available and affordable in the market. That is our biggest cry. Right now, they are even introducing another tax, and those who are in Nairobi will testify this. Come January, I shared that video. You will need to pay for playing ground, for swimming pool. If you are using an elevator, you need to pay for that. Then they're also increasing the tax you have been paying. Is it land rates or what? On the land you will own in Nairobi. That means the rent is going to go high. No one goes to business to make losses. This load will be carried by both the tenant and the owner of the property. That's where we have reached. So when government is losing a battle, they now turn to prosecuting their case in public. And they does it when they employ youth with some handouts to go and push for their agenda and create a perception that housing levy is not bad. We have many who support it. So it is something we should consider. They want to confuse us, not even convince, confuse us that majority are for that. It is not so. This is sponsored protest by the government. Ajabu ni kwamba hii ndio serikali ambayo ilisema inajitenga na maandamano. Serikali ambayo inapiga Wakenya mpaka na marisasi wakiandamana ya kwamba kuna njaa. I'm sure if we check on this one, maybe even they were escorted by police to send a message. But this message, we are not buying into that. That's why I'm bringing this video here. We are not buying into that message. Housing levy is a scam. You don't benefit anything from that. They go to an extent of acquiring land from the governor. You give free land, free title deed, nothing in terms of government, county government benefiting. Wewe tu ni Ruto amekuja, wanakuambia allocate land, peana title deed, unapeana. Then they hand it over to a private developer. Then they give the private developer 1.5% of civil servants' salary. Private developer. Then after putting up the units, they end up selling at a very expensive price. Who is the beneficiary here? What is the county government benefiting? As a civil servant or a taxpayer who pay house levy, what are you benefiting? Those are the pressing questions that this regime need to answer. Kabla wakuje kulipa maandamano ifanyike, wakuja watuambie kwa wale ambao wanalipa pesa ya affordable housing, ni njia gani watapata, they will benefit. By which means? How? And why is county government giving free land? Why? Why free land? Then they benefit nothing at the end of the day. But the private developer is making a kill in terms of profit. Hata wameambiwa ya kwamba ile chuma wanatumia kujenga affordable housing, it will not be taxed. Simiti itakayotumika kujenga affordable housing will not be taxed. But why is it that the end product is so much expensive in the market compared to other ones who have not been sponsored or given free land or given taxes to put up those units? Kwa nini hii yao iuzwe bei kali? So when you see this, just know the government is desperate to send a message. And they are losing this battle. If they were winning this battle, they cannot use the resources to pay handouts so that people will go and push for their agenda. Once it reaches this level, just know that they are losing the battle. So, hii tu ni kujaribu hapa to create some fake perception that we cannot buy into.